Hello everyone. Today I will introduce an educational platform designed specifically for teachers. I select this tool because it helps to create assessments, rubrics, and personalized feedback while saving valuable planning time. Throughout this presentation, I will explain how Brisk can support effective assessment while keeping teachers in control of instructional decisions. Here is the agenda for today's presentation. I will begin with a brief overview of the assessment, explain the purpose of Brisk, demonstrate how it works, discuss its advantages and limitations, and conclude with my professional evaluation. Throughout this course, we have learned that assessment is much more than assigning grades. Assessment begins with clear learning objectives, guides instruction, provides meaningful feedback, and ultimately supports students' learning. Formative assessment helps teachers monitor students' progress during instructions, while summative assessment measures learning at the end of a lesson or unit. Technology should support this process by helping teachers gather evidence of learning more efficiently, while teachers remain responsible for making instructional decisions. The primary purpose of Brisk is to support classroom assessment. It helps teachers efficiently create quizzes, rubrics, exit tickets, writing feedback, and other assessment materials. One important concept we study in this course is alignment. Assessments should match learning objectives and provide meaningful evidence of a student's learning. Brisk helps teachers create these assessment tools more efficiently, allowing us to spend more time analyzing students' learning rather than creating repetitive materials. Now, I would like to demonstrate how Brisk AI can quickly create assessment from an existing resource. For this demonstration, I'm using a PDF article about the geoculture of Mexico. Instead of creating questions manually, I simply open the Brisk AI extension and select the assessment option. Brisk gives me several choices for creating assessments. For, for this example, I'm generating a quiz in Google Form, but I could also create a Microsoft Word document or questions that can be projected directly on my smartboard for classroom discussions. Before generating the quiz, Brisk allows me to customize the activity. I can choose the number of questions, the questions format, and even provide my own prompt or align the assessment with my state standards. Once I click Generate, Brisk analyzes the article and creates the assessment in just a few seconds. As you can see, the Google form is automatically created with the title, questions, and answer choices already formatted, making it ready to review and share with students. One feature that I find especially valuable is the support for multilingual learners. Brisk can generate the same assessment in up to 3 languages at the same time, allowing students to access the content in the language that best supports their learning. This makes assessments more inclusive and help English learners better understand both the instructions and the academic content. Brisk can also generate different types of assessments, including multiple choice, short answer, and long response questions. With the free version, it generates one question type at a time, but teachers can easily combine different question types into one comprehensive assessment. Another benefit is that Brisk recommends additional instruction resources that align with the lesson objectives and standards. It also allows me to say everything directly to Google Drive, making it easy to organize my materials. Now, I would like to demonstrate another assessment feature that I found extremely valuable: rubrics. For this example, I'm selecting the rubrics option in Brisk AI. Instead of creating a rubric from scratch, Brisk generates one in just a few seconds based on the assignment. In this case, I'm creating a rubric for a student podcast. Before generating the rubric, I can customize the assessment by editing the criteria, the performance levels, and adding my own instruction to ensure the rubric aligns with my learning objectives. Once I click Generate, Brisk creates a detailed rubric with clear performance descriptors for each performance level. As you can see, the rubric clearly communicates expectations before students begin the assignment. This promotes transparency, supports fair and consistent grading, and helps students better understand what successful performance looks like. Rubrics are also an excellent formative assessment tool because students can use them to self assess their work, reflect their progress, and make improvements before submitting their final product. Another assessment feature I really like is the variety of assessment options Brisk offers. With just a few clicks, teachers can create exit tickets, checks for understanding, multiple choice quizzes, short answer questions, long response assessment, and many other classroom activities. Exit tickets are especially valuable because they provide immediate feedback at the end of a lesson. They help teachers quickly determine whether students achieve their learning objective, whether additional instruction is needed before moving to the next lesson. Having all these assessment tools in one platform gives teachers the flexibility to choose the strategy that best support their instructional goals while saving valuable planning time. After exploring Brisk AI, I identified several strengths as well as a few limitations. One of its greatest strengths is the ability to quickly generate a wide variety of assessment tools while saving teachers valuable planning time. This also supports multilingual learners, integrates seamlessly with Google Workspace, and allows teachers to customize every assessment before sharing with students. Another important advantage is that teachers can easily modify the AI generated content to better align with their curriculum, learning objectives, and the specific needs of their students. However, there are also some limitations. Teachers should always review AI generated materials to ensure they are accurate, aligned with their learning objectives, and appropriate for their students' grade level. In addition, some advanced features are only available through the paid versions, which may limit access for some educators or some districts. Overall, Brisk AI offers many valuable assessment features, but like any educational technology, its effectiveness depends on how tactfully teachers implement it in their classrooms. To conclude, assessment is much more than giving a student a test. Effective assessment provides meaningful evidence of a student and helps teachers make informed instructional decisions. Brisk AI offers an impressive collection of both formative and summative assessment tools, including quizzes, rubrics, exit tickets, check for understanding, and differentiate assessment options, all created with just a few clicks. What impressed me the most is how much teachers can accomplish with just a few clicks while still maintaining the flexibility to personalize every assessment to meet their needs of their students. When used responsibly, Brisk AI supports meaningful assessment, increases teacher efficiency, and allows educators to spend less time creating materials and more time focusing on student learning. Thank you for watching my presentation.